Hey yo, this is another video, so let's go. All right, I wanted to see this a while back. I got to see it today. It was the movie Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Okay, wow. So, um, well, you know what? I'm gonna kind of backtrack from the first Venom movie. So the first Venom movie, I had came to the conclusion that he was supposed to be doing what Carnage was doing in this movie, and he wanted to be human and save the world with the powers he had that he had from outer space. That because the it's a symbiotic relationship. They have to mesh well together. So when he was able to take on Venom, that um, the life form from outer space. So when he on that first Venom movie, he didn't do what he was supposed to be doing, creating havoc, chaos, whatever you want to call it. So or chaos or carnage. So in this movie, I just watched it maybe 30 minutes ago. Um, so in the movie, um, he was they showed him together with Venom on his back. But notice, I always notice always is on his back. So remember Daath, or I have in the Star Wars movie Darth Vader. That's the highest form of melanin in your body. If you ever look at the Kabalah, Daath is the closest part on the highest, one of the highest parts of the tree, right before you get to the top of the tree. So they're talking about the actual the chaos format or melanin format in the back of the neck. So if you ever watched a movie called Hellraiser 1 or Hellraiser 2, when they always take the life force out the back of their neck, they reach in the neck and pull out their life force, or the well, that would be your what you are, your highest form of your melanin in the back of your neck. So when that happens, when you see Venom, you always see him come from his back. So they say the dark side they have on the Kabalah is the light side, the day side, and the night side. The dark side is where most of the power is. So light side, it comes and goes, but darkness is always here. So just like the sun revolves around the earth, you see it, while you're in one place, it's always dark somewhere else, because the light or the sun only shines where it's at. It's not like that 24/7 or 24 hours a day. So he was. That's why you always see him come from his back, from behind him. So when he's coming from behind him, they're just showing you with mythology, or that which is hidden is the occult realm. Occult, OCCULT. Okay, you can find it. You can find different books or whatever you're looking for concerning the occult, or that which is hidden. Is like going inside to find. So it's like you're going inside of yourself. So these are all mythologies, or parts of mythologies highly melanated people, so-called black people, has created. And now we just remembering again and learning stuff again. But all this stuff is broken up in different books. We got to get as much as we possibly can. It's already in us, or in the highly melanated female, or the so-called black female. We just gotta, as the male, you have to be able to help her bring that information out of her, because it's already in her. All right, but I'm gonna get to that soon. So since I just spoke about the highly melanated female in the movie, there was a storyline to where Woody Harrelson's character, and I can't remember her name, the lady, I don't know her name, but the lady that was on Pirates of the Caribbean as the witch in the Pirates of the Caribbean, she's the magician. They call it, she's dealing with the magic on the boat. So she's in this film too, also, and that was Woody Harrelson's love interest in the film. So what I was learning is in the film. Okay, she was saying well, they was communicating because when they were younger, he was above her room. They ended up separating them because her power was getting too much. It was getting too strong. Her power was getting even stronger, and they was getting ready to take her away uh, from the place where they were living at, or like it's like a school for kids that the parents don't want them anymore, or like you would say like the X-Men that have the school for them for the gifted, but that was like a place for where kids were just released by their parents because they didn't know what to do with them. So so when she was getting taken away, one thing I noticed, when she said her power was getting too strong, they had to take her away, and he was still, Woody Harrelson's character, or his younger self, was still left there because he was there because he had ended up. Well, you find out later in the movie, he ended up killing some family members, so that's why he was there, and so when they were taking her away in a van, she was going to take her to another place away from him, and she decided to. Her power was she has the voice or like a sonic voice that come out. She breathes in and releases. When she releases, it's like a waveform, a sonic wave that can pierce the ears or the hearing gets damaged. So or the inner ear, also the inner ear is the eye of, they say, the eye of a deity or the higher self. That's who you really are. You control this body from the inner ear. So that was like Siren. You'll find, I think, if I'm not mistaken, in the Marvel comics. So another thing I had noticed in this film, well, it's a book I end up reading. I don't want to get off task, so no, I don't want to do that. So I'm gonna stay focused because I don't want to go somewhere else. I know it's in there, so I'm gonna just stay on the movie. Okay. Okay. Brock, and the guy that controls the Venom, he was he of course Brock, if you know the storyline of Spider-Man, he works at the daily, he works at the newspaper, so he's so he was, the police officer knew about Brock's situation with with the Venom, or the Venom. A lot of things was happening when Brock was in the area where people were getting decapitated, and the guy, the police officer, was saying one more time, and that's it pretty much for you. But the reason why he was still there was because he was saving the world, which is what he was not supposed to be doing. So Brock, as the character in the first movie, decided to do that. He's not supposed to be doing. He's supposed to be creating havoc, chaos, carnage, all those things on Earth. So now he was the actual symbiotic relationship Brock had with the suit, or the Venom. He was The Venom was able to help him get leads for stories, and he was getting back on top. He said, without me, you wouldn't be anything. So this is like your higher self. Your higher self. So he said, without me, you wouldn't be anything. You would probably you'll still be in your stepping being in your own way. Um, um, and like like you're nothing. He was saying pretty much you're nothing without me. He said, I've gotten myself back up. He said, I want peace. I want peace. That's what Brock kept saying. Like I wanted peace. So I don't want to do all that, carnage or whatever, and craziness and chaos and all that. So they was having a off and on relationship at the beginning of the movie. Like it was like he wanted to be more of a human, and the Venom he wanted to cut off heads and kill people and all this and that. He wanted to do all of that, but Brock he didn't want that. So he had now this is very important. I watch. So I remember there's a deity in Kemet or Egypt, it's called Coptic. Now this is something probably went over. I don't know whoever was watching the movie, whoever was watching it while I was in there. I knew what I saw and what I heard. So he was like, it's a certain type of chocolate that he has to eat from this Asian woman, and if not the chocolate, he has to go eating chicken. I was looking like, wait a minute. It's like the suit is all black, of course. I knew what this was about. It's just talking about melanin. That's all it's talking about when I watched the first movie. But I was saying, let me watch this movie. Something just happened today. I said, let me go ahead and watch the movie. I said, let me go ahead and watch the movie. I watched the movie, right? And I watched. He said that he had to eat chicken because it keeps him subtle, so he won't be tripping out and killing people and cutting off heads. And he has to have a certain type of chocolate. And you'll see the same Asian woman in the first film. In this film, and she has the chocolate. She's like, I'm not getting you your chocolate. She's like, fuck that, I'm not getting you it didn't come in. He's like, what? It didn't come in. Brock's like, what? It didn't come in? And then you hear the Venom, oh, where's my chocolate? And the Asian lady said, she knows about Venom. Like she knows his identity or whatever. She knows about Venom, and she's like, "Oh, what? You gonna hurt me? You gonna kill me because I ain't got your chocolate?" That was the ladies, like damn near putting pressure on him, like I ain't got your chocolate. So, in order for it's almost like having weed or something. Like people get relaxed when having their weed or whatever, but without learning how to do it without it, your powers get amplified. So I'm gonna keep going. So so back to the chicken. The chicken Abraxas. Abraxas is looked at as the rooster. The rooster. And there's an actual recipe I found out from Brother Bobby Hemmett. He does the research. What I'm saying I did the same thing a while back. Did the it's a fried chicken recipe, and we think it's funny, but it's the truth. They had this in the movie. People thought it was funny when Bobby Hemmett was talking about this, but it's the truth. In the movie, he was talking about certain type of dark chocolate. Bobby Hemmett was talking about a while back, a dark chocolate you can find in like in Europe, whatever. You can find like in Europe, and he was talking about the rooster, the chicken. So that stuck out in my head. I was like, they're talking about this in the movie. I was like, and this keeps people subtle and what be the joke? Goes around the U.S. or the world, whatever. Black people love chicken, but see that's the thing. If we didn't have something to keep us subtle or at ease or peace, like Brock said, I want peace or whatever. Just because you see a white face or whatever, I had to learn in years past not to just disassociate yourself with the film. So highly melanated people, so-called black people, when you ever go to see a film, go check out these science fiction films. Don't seclude yourself from the film because you see white faces. You have to be able to look past this and be able to analyze things. They like to say, oh, black people are not analytical people. We're very analytical, but we're only analytical when it can make us money. So money ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? We have people that make millions and millions of dollars, and and things don't go the way they plan because money ain't everything. is more of an illusion. Having the money, you can be able to do things you want. Okay, that's the only thing with the money. So, but the thing is, I want to bring up. So if we didn't have, so now they like to make the joke about the chicken and the Kool-Aid and all that stuff, or the watermelon, whatever. But those things are very vital to us. The watermelon actually, that's good for sexual energy. Okay. Also, it's like it's really water, but just in a melon form. It's in a physical form. And chicken also it was saying, if you listen to the movie very closely, they were saying if you it's something inside the chicken that's also inside the chocolate. That's it has the same particles that keeps him subtle from turning into the venom or wanting to go crazy on people and kill people. So that should go as to tell you. Now look at all. If you ever go to a Popeyes, I've been at Popeyes in different cities. I done drove past Popeyes in different cities and seen the longest line ever. Like, I don't see lines like that in KFC and all these different places. I be driving. I don't really be eating these places, but I'll just be observing. That's what I say. I analyze shit. I observe shit, and I'm looking like, now what are they putting in certain food or whatever? And so it's just, if I'm not mistaken, I know turkey has like tryptamine or something. It does something with the particle that I was looking this up years ago, a while back. Turkey has something like that in it. But that's why I say that chicken, fried chicken recipe, they had that in Kemet or Egypt a long time ago. But Coptic is later Egyptian or early Christianity. Early Christianity came from Egyptian. But you see crosses in Egypt too. So let me keep going. I don't want to get sidetracked. I want to stay on focus with the film. I can do that a lot. So I want to stay focused. So from there, the melanin with noises, it gets what do you call it? When there's like a lot of shrieking noise or like or loud noises, the venom or the suit, it starts to break away and starts to break down. And so that was another thing, like with certain thing with melanin and music. Music notes are melanin. You might see the dark notes with the stem on the end of them, or without the stem, or you might have the ones without the dark in the circle. It might be just clear, but the stem and the circle surrounding the with no darkness on the inside is still a melanated note. So the bars and all that you see, that's all melanin. Music is melanin notes. So that's one thing I was noticing with that. Now, with Woody Harrelson's character, so I don't really want to tell the movie. You can go watch it. But these things I'm pointing out to you. If you want to go watch the film, the movie about to get out the theaters. If you can, go check it out. You know what I'm saying? But you can go analyze and see the things. You might catch some things. You know what I'm saying? You might be, oh, I can see, I see this or I see that. You go home and go look up some stuff. So when Brock's character was able to, he walked past his room, or Woody Harrelson's character room, and the Venom said, "Look in his room. Look to your right." And he looked. It was so many. It was like writings all over the wall, and he left all his clues and everything about how he killed all these different people. And the Venom took notes. The memory of he said, "I have a great memory. You don't need that. I have a great memory." So that was the Venoms. They have a symbiotic relationship. One can be inside the other, or with the other, and so. But when he saw that, he was able to analyze and give Brock everything he saw on that wall. When Brock didn't realize what was on that wall, he put it in his face, and he was able to put certain things together. So, you see what I'm saying? So when he said, "I have a great memory." Now, what happens when you smoke weed? Your memory gets bad. Now, I was looking at this stuff. I'm like, man, hold up. Wait a minute. There's something to this. So all they doing is just talking about highly melanated people. And we just don't think about it because we just think it's just a movie, it's entertainment. There's nothing out here that's entertainment. Nothing out here is entertainment. Everything has to be put into a mythological form and then put into an entertainment format to make us feel like it's entertainment. Okay, another thing. Now this is going to deal with the Necronomicon, or if you go into the what's the name of that book? The Cult of Cthulhu. Now I got my hands on that book. If I go into that book, I'm going to go through the pages. I remember this. I have a good, I have a pretty good memory myself. So, Woody Harrelson's character, he asked for Brock to come because he actually put him in jail because because the Venom, actually he had put him there because he had figured out all those people he had killed. That's why he said he put him back on top. Okay, so when he put him back on top, the Venom with all the nuances he remembered and was able to solve a case as being a newspaper reporter or a journalist. So he got him. He was in jail. He said the last person I want to talk to before I get not electrocuted, but he get the lethal injection before he died. He wanted to speak to Brock, the guy that put him into the jail before he goes to the get the injection. And so Brock goes to him, and when he's talking in front of him, he puts a small recorder right there in between them, and that's but he walks up to the cage and starts speaking to him. And Woody Harrelson's character, he's speaking and speaking. He's eating when he walks into the room, and then he stands up. His Woody Harrelson's character. If you look at him, he said, what I'm going to do is get him upset or get him mad. And when he got him upset and mad, he was able the Venom because they have a relationship together. So what he feels inside, like as in love or whatever or anger, the Venom is going to act out on these things because they're all together. So they have to have a relationship together because without one without the other, those things wouldn't be getting accomplished. So I'm really trying to. I'm remembering. I'm going through this stuff in my mind while I'm sitting here. I didn't want to record anything. They will block it on YouTube, so I know that. So I'm saying I have to go off my memory and remember things. And another thing, what was it? Okay, while he's still talking to Woody Harrelson's character, he's standing in front of him and he says something to get him mad because somebody died or something. Somebody died or something. Brock's family died and he got angry, but the Venom got angry too because that's the same feelings he's feeling. And so the Venom jumps out from behind the body and goes through the bars where Woody Harrelson's character is at and grabs at him. And when he grabs at him, Woody Harrelson grabs Brock's hands and he bit his hand, and his hand, Brock's hand started bleeding. So, but that symbiotic relationship they have is DNA that's infused together. And if it's infused, that blood that seeps from his hand or Woody Harrelson's character bit Brock or Tom Hardy, whatever. Oh, he's also a producer. I found at the end of the film, he's one of the 3 executive producers in the film. So he's the main character, but he's also an executive producer in the film. But when he bit him in the hand, the blood, now they have, like I said before, they have a symbiotic relationship. So that whatever comes out in that blood, Woody Harrelson, when he bit him, that blood was on his mouth. And he tasted, he said, I've tasted blood before. This doesn't taste like regular blood or other people's blood. And when he did that, he was able. He was like, he was infused with Brock and the Venom's DNA inside of Woody Harrelson's character, or then he's gonna turn into Carnage. Now, so I brought up the Cult of Cthulhu. Hold on. So I'm not gonna go through the book. What I'm gonna do is, cause I remember the book verbatim, not the whole book, but this part I remember seeing. Hold on, let me give you the name of the book, and also the author, so you can go look for it yourself. All right, here it goes. Hey, I got the idea from Bobby Hemmett. You know what I'm saying? Anytime I get some, I always give people their props. You know what I'm saying? I don't never want to just be like, oh, it's all me. Nah, I wouldn't know nothing about this book until Bobby Hemmett said it in one of his lectures. So the name of the book is called A Guide to the Cthulhu Cult. And the author's name is Fred L. Pelton. All right? You can check it out yourself. So, now, now that, and then when Woody Harrelson's character drank his blood, he said it doesn't taste like regular people's blood. He says there's something to this. So they go to another scene, and Venom was like, I don't think you should have done that. He said, Brock, he lost his cool. How they talk back and forth. Everybody else can't hear Venom talk when he's inside of Brock, but Brock can hear him. And so they go past, and I'm gonna fast forward to the part where Woody Harrelson's character is gonna get the lethal injection, and all the family members of all the people he killed, they're actually inside the room where he's getting the lethal injection at. And so with that, they were people crying, and they just waiting for him to die. They're wearing all black or whatever. And so, and they said, any last words? He said, yeah, I hope you enjoy the show. And then they start the lethal injection, and that's then the blood he drank is going inside his DNA, and then the lethal injection is going into the system and going inside of his body. It started to reject it, and then the blood that he drank from Brock, or the Venom, they have that relationship. He took on that same characteristic, but so Venom would be when I said the cult of Cthulhu, Venom would be looked at as Nyarlathotep, okay, and then Carnage will be looked at Cthulhu or Cthulhu. It depends, different. There's different names for Cthulhu, but when I read the book, I finished reading the book, and come to find out, when you read the book, you find out Nyarlathotep damn near goes against Cthulhu, because that's like a version of himself. He's scared of Cthulhu because when I read, I'm like, I read this. I'm like, I read this, and I'm seeing it in visual form. So I'm like, wait a minute. He said, he was like, he's Cthulhu or Cthulhu. It depends on what book you get, but that's the same character. That's the younger self. That's Horus or Heru. Okay, that's who that is. Because if you really think about it, well, I'm gonna keep going. I don't lose focus. But all you have to do is read the book yourself and get into it and get into the information. It's right in there. So from there, I use context clues and realize that's Cthulhu because he has more power. He's the regenerative or the more stronger form of that. So if you look at Asar or Osiris, he faces Uncle Seth. But come to find out, Seth is actually Heru or Horus's father, because it's all one body, but it's just a different version, different part of the body. Now I'm gonna keep going. So, towards the end, when he said when the Venom saw him, when Brock came, or there was like the big battle towards the end of the movie. Now I'm just gonna keep it. It's almost over. This video is almost over. He saw Woody Harrelson. They were about to get married. Him and his lady. A lady I was talking about earlier that was in the Pirates of the Caribbean. They turned when Brock turned around, and he said, "Come on." and he then Carnage came out of Woody Harrelson's character. He's like, oh, he was like, you see him, he has a lot more tentacle, he has a lot more reach. I mean, he has like tentacles. Cthulhu, you see him, he's like the squid. You have what do you call it? And you look at different mythologies. You have to. It's like a comparative base. Highly melanated people, so-called black people, read mythology. I have videos saying black people learning how to learn about mythology. We need to read mythology. That's what I do. I love that. So when you see him, he's all red, and then the Venom. I never heard him get scared like that. He said, "Oh, he's a red one. He's a red one. He's a red one." And he had like a lot. He had like tentacle. He can grow a lot bigger than the actual Venom. And I'm like, it was so much more different. Everybody in the theater was like quiet. I understood what was going on. I'm just watching so I can break it down in my mind. I said, I'm gonna make a video. I just wanted to make sure I pay attention so I won't miss anything. And next thing I know, he Venom, he hides back inside Brock. And they get ready. He said, "What are you doing? I gotta fight." He said, "Oh, he's a red one." So that means he's of Venom. He said when Carnage said, "Hello, father," and he said, "Huh?" And he went back inside Brock. Father, Osiris or Asar, he's Heru's or Horus's father. We don't or he's not in the form of he's actually Seth is actually his father, but he said father as in because he came from his DNA. When he bit him, he came into a version that was like an offspring of what Venom was, a more stronger, more potent form. But the relationship they had, it was so hard for them to get together. But I'm not going to tell the rest of the movie like that, so I want you to go check it out yourself. Highly melanated people, so-called black people. I'm a brother too, you know what I'm saying? You in my mind right now. That's why it's all darkness. If you're new to my videos, that's what that means. When you see all darkness like this, you're in my mind. So if you get the chance to go check out the film and you're gonna see the things I'm talking about, you might get see more things. I'm not gonna bring up everything because I want you to be able to tie in certain things and go read too. Also, check out the Necronomicon or check out the book I just showed you. It's a book by Avon Press. They got 3 different types. You can get all 3 of them. Yeah, I would say get all 3 of them and put those together and get the book I just told you about too also. But check out the Necronomicon. They always say we like to stay inside Christianity and all that shit. Man, or all these different religions. We're not a religion-based people. Else for everybody else because they came from the caves or they couldn't walk or they didn't know how to talk or they didn't know how to behave. So now they gave it to us and now they got our shit. They making movies with it. So all these movies is to help us remember. All these books is to help us remember what we did a long time ago. Because these physical bodies came later. When we was kings and queens and all that shit, that came later. We had failed by that time. Before we was kings and queens, we was in these physical bodies, we failed. Just like how Lucifer fell into a body, we fell into these bodies. When we outside the body, we even stronger. So just like how they killing all these rappers, listen to their music. I'm gonna give you a hint. I'm gonna give you a clue. Listen to these rappers that get killed or dies. Listen to all the musicians, and they'll come to you and give you help because they're not held by the physical body. Can't slow them down, so they can jump into different people and help them. They go inside your body. People that die, like your family members or your friends, they go inside your body because you be like, where do they go? Heaven and hell. We're in hell right now in the physical, as earth is the hell. But inside your mind, you can create your own heaven around you. Like they say, the circle and the dot is your mind. That's melanin. That's the pineal gland. But anyway, like look up all this stuff I'm saying, rewind it, pause it, go look it up on Google, come back, write it down. Like I'm telling you, start adding to your repertoire, making yourself stronger. All right. Kill a day, kill God. God don't love us. God don't love highly melanated people. God don't love black people. You know why? Look at all the rappers that's dying when they doing good stuff in the community. Why would he be killing these people? Because that's actually helping people. Like when Nipsey Hussle was telling people to check out Dr. Sabi. Dr. Sabi was telling people to change, helping people change their diet. If you change your diet, your mind gets changes. When your mind changes, you start seeing things different. You won't want to do the same things. You want to start expanding your like with me. That happened to me years ago, like a while back, a long time. And then I hear about Nipsey Hussle talking about Dr. Sabi, and then a few months later, you know, his life was taken. It wasn't what we think it is. It's a way bigger plot. Trust me, I know. But that's all I'm going to say. Fuck God, because God don't love us. I know this for sure. Trust me. And you know what? Since I'm at it, ease up on the weed too. You know what I'm saying? Ease up on it. Because we can use that anger is used actually for our magic. They don't want us to know that. I study the shit that these white people be able to put out. When they put it out, I go get them books. That's our shit we wrote a long time ago. So all we probably doing is going to get the same shit we wrote. That even though we gotta pay for it, we go to these museums too, see our old stuff, whatever. I know you don't want to pay for it, all that stuff, but you gotta think about it. It's only making you stronger. So instead of wasting it on this and that, or buying stuff like we can buying things that don't even make any sense, are gonna go bad or whatever, and whatever it is. Get something that's going to be tangible that can help you. But with your spiritual self. Like, I'm a spiritual person. I'm not a religious person. Spirituality and religion is totally different. Religion is something you give. It's like that's military based or socially based, or but we're spiritual people. Spiritual people, we're vast. We look at everything and put everything together and make something. All those different mythologies, all one, they just in different areas, different names. So all we gotta do is put the story together, and we just put ourselves together. All right. Kill a day, kill God. Yeah, I say it every day. Fuck God. Kill a day, and remember, niggas, we the shit. God don't want you to realize you the shit. Kill God. Kill God daily.